What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bodice, but you can call me Mo. So we're going to be drafting a basic bodice pattern today. So as a beginner, you'll be able to use this pattern for other styles that you may have in mind to create. So please subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up after watching it. So I'm sorry it's not so clear, but if you look closely, you see that I have a line on 9.5. The waistline is 16 inches and then the hip line is 24 inches. 9.5 is the bust line and there's the starting line over there. I'm just going to use my pen to make the lines more visible because I feel like the pencil would not show because of the light and all. So I'm just going to go in my pen to make sure that you can see the lines. That's the starting line. The second line is the bust line. The third one is the waistline, while the last one is the hip line. And I have them on the bust line is 9.5 inches, the waistline is 16 inches, and the hip line is 24 inches. So I'm trying to take the shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. I'm just going to take the bust circumference divided by 4, which is 8.25. Then the waist circumference divided by 4. Whatever you measure on your client on the waist, you divide it by 4. Then mark it on your pattern and then add 1 inch allowance for your dart. Because I'm going to still pick out the dart from the pattern. So the hip measurement as well, round hip divided by 4 will give whatever you get to put it on the pattern. I'm just going to connect the lines together. From the shoulder line, I'm coming down by 8 inches from shoulder line, and then I'll come down by 1 inch as well. I'm going to mark 3 inches from the center of the line on that shoulder line. Then from 3 inches point, I come down, I connect the lines to the 1 inch. Here I'm just connecting the shoulder measurement, that's the 7.5. Shoulder measurement divided by 2, which gives me 7.5, down to the chest line. I'm going to measure what I have from the shoulder line, shoulder slant to the chest line, and divide it by 2, then go in by 1/2 inch to connect my armhole. So I'm going to connect those lines together with my armhole curve to get the armhole. I'm just going to bring down the 8-inch mark and connect the lines to create the chest line mark. So I'm going to roll it all together now so that the chest line can be created. I'm just labeling in the chest line, the bust line, the waistline, and then the hip line. So I'm going to be connecting my armhole right now from the 1/2 inch that we took in to the end. I'm just going to be connecting the dots with the armhole curve, just like so. So we are taking the dart right now. You are going to measure your bust span. That's your nipple to nipple measurement. That's what you're going to use for the dart measurement. Your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So if you have 8, you divide it by 2, it give you 4. So you come in by 4 inch and then come down by 1 inch below the bust line and 2 inches above the hip line. So you connect the line all the way from the 1 inch below the bust line to the 2 inch above the hip line. After you've done that, you're going to the waistline now. You take 1/2 inch on both sides. You measure 1/2 inch on both sides, and I'm just going to connect it like that. After connecting it, I'm going to connect the lower part as well to the waist line. Remember that we already added 1 inch by the waistline, so taking the waist measurement now plus that 1 inch for the dart is going to give you the right measurement. Then the next thing, just trying to curve this part a bit so that it doesn't look pointed. That's the waistline. Now going to the neck. The neck depth, you are going to come down by 3 inches. It's like a standard for front basic body pattern. You can always go deeper when you want to start using your pattern to create other designs, and you can go higher in case depending on the style you're trying to make, you can go higher or lower. So I'm just going to connect the lines. So we have this neckline to be 3 inches by 3 inches, 3 inches wide and 3 inches deep. So I'm just going to use my curve. I'm trying to come out by 0.75 inches to make my curve. I'm going to use my armhole curve to join the neckline, just like that. And that's about that. So this is what the pattern is looking like right now, and I'm just going in with my pen. I'm going all over with my pen so that the line can be visible, because I noticed that the pencil was not clear enough, so I'm using my pen to go through it. And I have another 1 inch by the sides with the pattern, 1 inch allowance, just like sewing allowance. I have added 1 inch sewing allowance on the pattern, which means when I'm cutting it on my fabric, I'm not going to be adding allowance to the side. You may not add it if you don't like, but I just decided to add it on this particular pattern. You do not necessarily need to add it. You just need to add the allowance on your fabric when you're cutting it out. You add allowance around the side of your pattern. Remember that when you're cutting your fabric, you're going to be cutting on fold so that you can have a bigger piece. This is just half bodice block, or how do they even call it? This is just half the pattern. If you cut it on fold, you get a full body pattern. Now I'm going to be placing another piece of paper under my front pattern just to drive the back. So what I'm going to be doing now is tracing the lines that I already have on my front pattern on the back pattern. So I'm just going to put 1.5 inch allowance in front for the zipper allowance, and then I'm going to be connecting the lines that I traced. So we have the chest line, the bust line, the waistline, and then the hip line. So I'm connecting the armhole, the shoulder line as well for the armhole. But note that this particular armhole, you don't have to go in by 1.5 inch in the middle. You just connect it directly, because the front and back armhole are not necessarily the same. And then I just did 1.5 inch depth for the back neckline, which is just normal. If you want a V-neck, you can still take it down. If you want a wider neck, you can still take it down. I'm just doing that because this is just a pattern. So I'm using my tracing wheel to trace out the line for the dart on the back pattern. So the tracing wheel will show on the other end. That's why I'm using it. And I'm going to use my pencil to connect those dots, press it down so that I can see it at the other side of the paper. So I'm going to be, it may not show here, but when I roll it out now, it's going to show. Because of the light, it's not showing really. So I just connected the lines. I just put the dots together, and I'm going to be joining the lines now. I can see it. I'm just going to be doing that right now. So I'm going to do basically the same thing that I did in front to the back as well. The only difference between the back pattern and the front pattern is the armhole curve that's not wide, and then the zipper allowance that added to the back, and then the neck depth, which is 1.5 for the back, and then neck depth for the front is 3 inches. Note that the neck width is always the same for both front and back. I don't know if that's clear, but if you get it. So I'm just going to cut out this same pattern like this because that's all that there is to it anyways. So just watch me cut it out. So this is seam allowance because I did not demarcate it. I'm just writing it on it so that whoever is going to be using it, or if I'm going to be using data, I know that there's already seam allowance on this particular basic block. I'm just going to join the lines together. Nothing serious. So I'm going to connect the back armhole like I said, but I'm not going to be going in by 1/2 inch because it does not matter. I think the reason we're going in by 1/2 inch on the bust armhole is because we want to avoid excess fabric by the armhole on the chest line, you know. You see some dresses that gape towards the chest area and the armhole, so giving the dress a funny look. So that's why we're going in. And then when you cut it, basically you see that the front and back armhole are not the same. So this is where the difference come from. So I think we're done here. I'm just going to cut round and then that will be all. Put them together, make sure. Can you see the difference, guys? Difference between both armholes, the front armhole and the back armhole. They're always very different. So I'm just going to trace out the rest of the pattern, and this is the back piece now. This is the back piece. This is the zipper allowance, and then that's about that. So this is the front piece and the back piece. I'm going to trace out the neck now and the shoulder slant. Just showing the difference between the armor. That's about that. please subscribe if you've not subscribed already to my channel, and watch out for more videos from me. I feel like this is beginner friendly enough, but watch out for more beginner friendly videos from me. I'm going to be posting more videos on here. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.